Yes, about the 9 breath that you taught us last year. Will you repeat it again this year?
Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning?
Yes.
So the difference between afflictive obscuration and afflictive emotions?
Obscurations and afflictive emotions. Is this what you say? Okay. This is the little tricky. Okay. Afflictive obscurations. To go into more detail. Okay, let me put it like this. Because even these questions are very important, so I don't want to miss these. I don't want to see people missing these questions as well. Hope everyone is here now. Okay. So basically, what happens is that what we said earlier is that nirvana is within us, Buddhahood also within us. But we don't say that, oh, this is nirvana, this is Buddhahood. We don't say that. It is in the form of the potential. It is in the form of potential, which we will learn from the Dharmadhatu, in praise of Dharmadhatu. So this, we have the potential for freedom from samsara, and we have the potential for full awakening or Buddhahood. Both are there. While both are there, we don't experience that. It's because this endowment is obscured by the defilements. And the defilements there too. Because nirvana, freedom from samsara, is easier to be achieved as compared to the Buddhahood. Buddhahood is very subtle, and it requires much more effort and the intelligence and so forth, whereas nirvana is relatively easier. As compared to Buddhahood, it is easier to be achieved. So the point is that what stops us from achieving nirvana, that is known as afflictive obscurations. What stops us from Buddhahood is known as cognitive obscurations. This we have to know. Okay, what stops us from achieving nirvana is known as afflictive obscurations, and what stops us from achieving Buddhahood is known as cognitive obscurations. Now the example that I like to give you is that, for example, somebody smashes a garlic in my mug, and if I don't take garlic at all, then what happens is that the person will apologize and will remove the garlic, salted garlic, and wash it. Remove the garlic, totally wash it. Completed. So there's no trace of garlic left there. You smell it, it still smells garlic. So the solid garlic is the analogy for the metaphor for the afflictive obscurations, and the smell like garlic, this is the metaphor for the cognitive obscurations. So which is more difficult to remove, the solid garlic or the smell? The smell. So the smell is like the cognitive obscurations, and the solid garlic is like the afflictive obscurations. Now the question is afflictive obscurations versus the afflictive emotions. This question, main question. So for that matter, first we need to know what examples do we have of the afflictive obscurations? What examples do we have? This question. Afflictive obscurations is of three kinds. Afflictive obscurations is of three kinds. One, afflictions. Number two is contaminated karmas. Then number three is the active seeds of the afflictions and the contaminated karmas. What constitutes the afflictive obscurations? Tell me. Three. What are they? Afflictions, contaminated karmas, and active seeds of the earlier two active seeds. What do you mean the active seeds? So afflictions, for example, say first afflictions. Afflictions is, say, what the Sibila is saying as the afflictive emotions. Now afflictions, when I say afflictions, that equals afflictive emotions. Right? So, but the afflictions, it is not only afflictions which constitute the afflictive obscurations. Afflictive obscurations, there are three kinds. So afflictions, meaning at the active state of your mind. anger, attachment, craving, jealousy, competitiveness, and so forth. These form the afflictions, afflictive emotions. Afflictive emotions and afflictions, we can, in a loose sense, we can equate the two. But the debate is there about what precisely is meant by emotions. Even this in psychology, Western psychology, this is a huge debate. So some people, whether or not compassion is emotion, not all these discussions are there. So we to study them in a very loose sense, where you understand the concept, what defiles your mind from achieving nirvana, that is afflictive obscurations. Within that there are three kinds: afflictions, contaminant karmas, and the active seeds. And some of you may be wondering, what does it mean by active seeds? Okay, for example, let's say, how many of you are angry now? Nobody's angry. But the Sunday you go back? Sunday you go, right? Saturday. Saturday evening go back. And Sunday morning, right? Sunday morning this smile is not there. Right? Sunday morning the smile is not there. And then somebody says, hey, what are you doing? You easily feel agitated. Right? So this is not your business. Okay. So the agitation comes. At the moment there's no agitation. And then on Sunday morning the agitation comes. Where was this agitation hiding when you were in this place? When you were on Thursday, right? Thursday, where was the agitation hiding? It was not there. That is in the form of imprint. It is in the form of imprint. For example, just this thread. I stretch it, I cannot stretch it. Whereas the rubber band, I can stretch it. Right? Although rubber band, I put it like this, and this also I put like as though like this to say. But the rubber band has the capacity, has the imprint, has the tendency to stretch. This doesn't have the tendency to stretch. Likewise, anger, our mind, although it's not angry now, this has a tendency to become angry. That is known as the imprint, active imprint. Okay, now the cognitive obscurations. Cognitive obscurations, they are the smell of the garlic. It is like the smell of garlic. It is like, say, the very subtle imprints there too. Active imprints and the inactive imprints. Seeds there too. Active seeds and the inactive seeds. Seeds which are already, for example, the fruit seeds. Fruit seeds, you burn it, it's still seed, but it is inactive. It cannot germinate into fruits anymore. So, seeds there too. Likewise, the imprints there too. One which is active imprints, which has the potential to germinate into the afflictions, contaminant karmas and so forth. Whereas there's one part of the seed which cannot germinate any further. For example, the smell of the garlic in the mug, it cannot become a solid garlic. Right? So that is known as the cognitive obscurations. And the question is, I don't know within the 3 days whether or not we can discuss as to what exactly is the cognitive obscurations and how that really stops us from achieving Buddhahood. So I don't know to what extent we can deal with that question. To deal with this question, minimum you need to have 10 years training. Right. So therefore I don't know how competent we are to deal with this within these 3 days. Okay. So Sibila, your question is taken care of? Good. Any more questions before we go further? Any more questions?
About the obscuration and the imprints. So, when you say afflictive, active seed is the imprints?
Yes.
Is another name for active seed?
Okay. This is a good question. Say the imprints, latencies, seeds, they are used as synonymous, right? Say, for example, the imprints of afflictions, latencies of afflictions, and the seeds of afflictions, they are used as synonymous. Yeah. Any more questions?
And the Kleshas would be the
So kleshas is the Sanskrit word for afflictions. So basically what we need to know is that we need to know the basic framework very clearly. Say the nirvana and Buddhahood. The nirvana and Buddhahood, they are there within us in the form of hidden, in a hidden form. And they are not visible. Why not visible? They are because obscured by some. It's gold. Why is it not visible? Because it is mixed with the soil. Likewise, the nirvana and Buddhahood within us, each one of us. Why they are not visible? Because they are obscured by some soil-like mental defilements. What are these mental defilements? They are referred to as the obscurations, which obscure the visibility of the nirvana and Buddhahood. They are known as obscurations. So mental defilements are known as mental obscurations. And the mental obscurations is of two classes, two groups, the gross and the subtle. So this classification you have to learn. With this classification, then things become very clear. Otherwise, what is obscuration? Obscuration versus defilements, obscuration versus seeds, like this, it becomes unnecessarily complicated for you. So this classification, if you learn it, it becomes very clear for you, and your mind will slowly be habituated to this system. Okay. Yes?
Maybe you can speak more about the first question.
Which one?
How do we know that
Okay. I promise. Tomorrow. Today we will go, keep going, and tomorrow, by the end of tomorrow, if the answers, if by the, what, third session tomorrow, if you still not happy, then the ask question. Okay, good. So ready? Okay, good. Now, okay, we left where? 3. Oh, here stands the 3.
While I think that you gone.
Yes, come. Okay, thank you. Page, which page number? 53. So mine is on page 90. Mine was the full version of your book. Okay, stanza 3 reads, while it is blended with milk, butter's essence appears not. Likewise, in the afflictions mix, Dharmadhatu is not seen. Dharmadhatu meaning the true potential, the true nature of your okay, so this is so important. So this basic, all the stanzas which we're going to read, they are very similar in many ways. They are to reinforce our understanding of what constitutes Dharmadhatu. What is Dharmadhatu? Dharmadhatu meaning the potential of the perfection, the potential of fearlessness, and the potential of infinite happiness. 1. In technical terms, the potential for nirvana and potential for Buddhahood. So, technically, the potential for nirvana within you, the potential for Buddhahood within you. Each one of us, no matter what religion that you're following, what gender you have, no difference. Everybody has this potential for, say, the nirvana and Buddhahood. Nirvana meaning where you are freed from all forms of, where you are freed from samsara. Technically, where you are freed from samsara is known as nirvana, and the Buddhahood is where you are freed from, where your mind could see every atom of the universe, where your mind could see everything that exists in this universe. Every mind, simultaneously you can read the mind of every sentient being. You can see through every atom of the universe. In other words, you achieve the omniscient mind. Okay, this is Buddhahood. Now, I put it slightly differently. This is the technical form. You have to know this technical form. And technical form for you to know it very easily. Do you agree with me? That what we seek is, if possible, not achieve this question. But what we seek is, we seek fearlessness. How many agree with me? Yes. We seek, if possible, we seek infinite happiness, maximum happiness. Okay. So we seek fearlessness. This fearlessness is what we will eventually see as nirvana. Freedom from samsara. One. Infinite happiness. This is what we see as Buddhahood, full awakening. Infinite happiness. Okay. Now, with this, what we need to know is that the example which I very briefly gave, I think in Monash or in Tel Aviv University, about water. Tel Aviv University, Cham River. Monash. Okay, Monash. Say what is that river?
Nahar.
No, what is that river? What's the name of the river? The dirty river. Yakwal, okay. Yakwal River, right? So it's 42 degrees centigrade, and we all standing outside, not yet decided which room is my room, right? Standing outside there, so hot, very thirsty, and then can I get water in my lab? How did you got water from? What is that? Yakwal, right? Yakwal. Do you want to drink it? No, you don't want to. Why? Why not? Because it's very dirty. Okay, this is very important. Though seems very simple, is very important. If you know this, you will know who you are. This is so important. Okay, so this water, this Yakwal water, then you don't want to drink it, you're subjected to purification. Purification process like ultrafiltration, reverse osmosis, through all these the purification processes, then very clean water comes out, right? You want to drink it now? Yes, all the water that we're drinking, they are like this, right? Okay, so now this clean water that you are going to drink now, this clean water came from where? Came from Yakwal River or it came from Himalaya? Yakwal River, you're getting it? But Yakwal River is very dirty. There's no clean water there, right? Okay, so this is one part. Don't forget it. This one part, right? So we are able to see that very clean water comes from Yakwal River. On the other hand, let's say the black charcoal. Black charcoal, I assign you to make it white, inside out. So what you do is that you try to remove the black part. Remove the black part, what happens? The charcoal will disappear. With the Yakwal River, you remove the dirt. As instead of the water disappearing, the water becomes very clean. With the black charcoal, instead of the charcoal becoming white, it disappears. Okay, I want to answer from somebody. What's the difference? What's the difference? Anybody? Raise hands. Raise hands. Anybody? Okay, gentleman over there.
The blackness in the charcoal is its essence. It's not something that was added on, therefore cannot be clean.
And the river, Yakwal River.
Its essence is clean.
Very good. Wonderful, wonderful. Over there, same. Very good. There, same. Wonderful. Same. Okay. So the answer given is that the charcoal, the intrinsic nature, essence of the charcoal, intrinsic nature of charcoal is black. So the true nature of charcoal is black. The true nature of the charcoal is black. Whereas the true nature of the water, Yahoo River, true nature of that Yahoo River is not dirty. True nature is so pure, so pure. You getting it? Our mind, fortunately, it is not like black charcoal, it is like a Yahoo River, right? The true nature of mind is never dirty, it is so pure. So this, after studying this, and also don't just leave everything on me, right? You also have to reflect, exert some the effort to understand how that my mind resembles not like a black charcoal, where the blackness is the intrinsic nature of the charcoal. Instead, my mind resembles the Yahoo River, right? Dirty, but the intrinsic nature of the Yahoo River is not dirty, it's so pure. Likewise, my mind is so pure. This very clean water came from where? From Yahoo River itself. It did not come from the Himalaya, right? It came from Yahoo, which means that the water there. So what happened is that when you subject this Yahoo water from Yahoo River, when you subject this water to purification process, what is happening is that you are separating the true nature of the water, Yahoo water, and the adventitious nature. You're getting it? You are separating the two. The dirts, the adventitious nature of the water, they are not the true nature. Adventitious nature. They are not the real nature of the water. As you remove the dirt there, then the purity comes out. This purity existed where? Existed while it was still running as the Yahoo River. It is still, that purity is there, but that purity is in a dormant state. Don't forget it. That purity is in a dormant state. Now, when the adventitious nature, the defilements, the pollutants, contaminants, when they're removed, then the purity which is dormant, it becomes manifest. It becomes manifest. So there you see they're so pure, it's so clean. Likewise our mind, the true nature of mind is so pure, so pure. So that true nature is known as Buddha nature, Tathagata Garbha. In Sanskrit it is known as Tathagata Garbha. In English it is known as Buddha nature. In Tibetan it is known as Sanghigirik. Sanghigirik, Tathagata Garbha in English. Tathagata Garbha, Buddha nature in English. Sanskrit, Tathagata Garbha. In Tibetan, Sanghigirik. This is what exists in everyone. Okay, now this Buddha nature, because we have this Buddha nature, everyone has the potential to become Buddha. Buddha doesn't mean that Buddhism. It means that somebody whose happiness becomes infinite and who becomes fearless, totally fearless, and with infinite happiness. This is what is known as the fully awakened one. Buddha means the fully awakened one, the one who is awakened fully. Okay. Now this nature that we have, each one of us that we have, Buddha nature that each one of us we have, this nature is of two kinds. Buddha nature is of two kinds. Proliferating Buddha nature and the natural Buddha nature. Proliferating Buddha nature and the natural Buddha nature. Proliferating. Proliferating meaning which multiplies, which grows. Which multiplies, which grows, which can grow. Proliferate, which grows. Proliferating Buddha nature and natural Buddha nature. Okay. You are ready for that? To go into this part today or tomorrow? I believe we'll leave tomorrow morning. Are you sure? Not tired? Okay. Okay, some of you maybe realize this is not tired. Right. Okay. Going down and not tired. Okay. So if you're not tired, I'll go through now. Otherwise, we will go through the text, and this part, distinguishing the Buddha natures, we can do tomorrow. What do you think? Wow. Amazing. Okay. this is very important. The same proliferating Buddha nature and the natural Buddha nature. Proliferating Buddha nature. First, let me explain this proliferating Buddha. Proliferating Buddha nature is the mind of the sentient beings. Mind within us, the mind within the sentient beings, which are still impure. The mind within the sentient beings which are still impure. This is the proliferating, and I'll explain later more. First, try to understand what it is. A mind of the sentient being which is still impure. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Right? Okay. The next is, what's next? Natural Buddha nature. Natural Buddha nature is natural. Natural. Natural Buddha nature is the emptiness. Emptiness of this proliferating Buddha nature is the natural Buddha nature. Emptiness of this mind, emptiness of the proliferating Buddha nature is the natural Buddha nature. Okay, just write it, and then we'll try to explore a little bit. We'll try to explore, right? And by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, if you don't get it, then ask me again, and then day after what?
Yes,
Then the Saturday evening, if you don't get it, then wait till next year. Right. Okay. Emptiness. Yes, next year. Yes. Shala, when are you going to announce this? You want to explain? Okay. So. Okay. So the Shala, two of them will announce something, right, on Saturday. Okay. So the. Okay. The first, what did you say? The proliferating Buddha nature. What is proliferating Buddha nature? The mind of the sentient being which is still impure. You getting it? This is the proliferating Buddha nature. And you can ask me why this is known as proliferating Buddha nature. You getting it? Okay, this is one part. Second part is what? Natural Buddha nature. What is natural Buddha nature? What I said is emptiness of this proliferating Buddha nature is the natural Buddha nature. Right? Okay. Say some people think that the proliferating Buddha nature is the actual Buddha nature. Natural Buddha nature doesn't mean anything. Whereas many experts, really experts, and when you study this in presence of Dharmadhatu, will realize that the natural Buddha nature, this is the main. This is the basis for us to get the conviction that we can be free from fears, we can be free from all forms of fears, and we can get the infinite happiness. We can achieve enlightenment. So it's because of the understanding of the natural Buddha nature. Okay, so with this, what I'd like to share with you here is that okay, the water example that I gave you, what's Lohon? What's it? Yalkon. Okay, Yalkon river water, very dirty. However dirty that is, that water can become pure, yes? That water can become pure. However dirty our mind is, this mind can become the Buddha's mind. Right? What becomes the Buddha's mind is so precious, Oftentimes we say that, I hate myself, I'm so bad, I'm so selfish. Yes? One may be very selfish, one may be very bad in many sense. But this self is very precious. You as a person is very precious. Because you as a person, although it's bad now, this person can change and become someone who's very compassionate and fully awakened being. You can change. So that is very precious. Very precious. Now, if you really want to hate somebody, then you have to hate the mental defilements, mental obscurations. They make you dirty. Your true nature is not dirty. What makes you dirty? You have to hate that. So that is not you. is the mental departments, afflictive obscurations and the cognitive obscurations. You getting it?